Hi guys, Roxanne here from Tiny Home Living. I'm just going out. I did check the eggs earlier and wanted to see if they were using any of those nesting boxes made out of the tree pots. They don't seem to be using the ones inside, which doesn't make sense to me. What makes sense to me? Not much about this chicken business. But so they're not using the ones inside, but they did try to use the ones outside. When I came out, a couple of them were sort of clawing at the pots outside trying to nest, but the straw was all gone. So and it seemed like the chicken was having a hard time turning around. So they are a little small, I think. So I've asked Chris to take these 3 small pots out of here and put the 3 big ones from inside out here. He did just sit one on the ground here because this seemed to be the favorite spot, and look at that. 2 eggs, even with no straw or anything. But I'm not going to throw these away just yet, but I'm going to get him to move the 3 big ones from inside out here and see how that works. See if they like using. Now I didn't let them out of here till like 10 or something. No, it would have been closer to 11 maybe. And it seems like they did lay most of their eggs already. I'm just going to see if there's nobody in the maternity department. So when I checked earlier, there were quite a few eggs. I can't remember how many. So there's the 2 outside, which is good news. And when I came out, there were 2 or 3 chickens sort of clucking around those outdoor ones. But they were scratching in them like as if there was straw, like they were trying to nest. And it's the one that was in there was sort of head first in the pot and didn't seem to have enough room to turn around. So I think they are a little... Hey! No pecking of the toes! Gotta get bands on those guys, and whoever pecks toes goes in the freezer too. Nasty little chicken. Anyway, there's nobody in the boxes right now, but there was 5 eggs in here, and I took 3 to put in the nesting boxes down below, the big pots. So that would have been 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so the 2 outside would be 11 so far. So again, it does seem to me like when they're locked in here, they're laying the eggs in here. So again, I could be right. So I'm just going to leave those in there for a little while longer. And I hear somebody clucking there. This thing is hard to get. I think the straw is making the hinge bind a little bit again. But I hear somebody clucking in there, and I just want to... Just hold on. I just want to see if anybody's in the indoor boxes. No, nobody's using these. Those are the eggs that I put in there. So that's 11 eggs today. And so I think Chris is going to take these outside and put wooden boxes just underneath here. So another set of 4 wooden nesting boxes. What do you think? Would that be better? Would that be better? I think so. And that one is sort of blocking the doorway a little bit too. Not that that seems to bother them, but yeah, I think taking these big ones and putting them out where they have already been willing to use them is a good thing. And there are quite a few of them sort of hanging around in here. So I'm going to leave those eggs for now, maybe check in another hour or so. I'm sort of assembling everything to get my relish done. Just hold on. That bolt. You have to pull on the door with one hand and you do the bolt with the other hand. So 11 eggs so far, and that they do seem to be laying them mostly in the morning. And so having them locked in there till 11 this morning, most of the eggs were laid already. So I don't know if anybody can help me out. Like maybe leave them locked in the run till noon and then let them out, because it seems like they're laying most of the eggs in the morning. I was really excited to see those two in the outdoor box, but like I said, they were sort of scratching. There was no straw left in them, and they seemed to be having a hard time turning around in there. It's just a little too tight. So Chris was gonna go start working on the wiring some more in the tiny house, but I asked him to switch those pots out first. Of course, we're not gonna throw the smaller ones away, but put the big ones, I mean, why not put the big ones where they're actually gonna use them? And then make the wooden ones to go inside. So, and he did find one more pot, so maybe do the 4 with the pots outside and then wooden ones inside. And we'll see how that works. So Chris was just out working in the tiny house and trying to figure out where to put the fresh air vents. There needs to be 2 in the room, 1 a foot from the ceiling and 1 a foot from the floor. So we started looking at the diagrams for where the chimney comes out. This is the number 5, this is the number 7, and the number 8 page has nothing. Awesome! Hello, Lacunza. So it just occurred to me that maybe Bob and Rita are away this week, but I think their grandson's taking care of their place. So maybe since we have the stove stored there, we'll have to go up and see if we can get the manual out of the packaging and see if it's on there. This one I had emailed to me from them, but that's a pretty important number, folks. Anyway, he is trying to figure out, we've decided to put the venting on the side wall beside the wood stove on the left hand side that divides that area from the bathroom, and that way they are not in an exterior wall, so won't interfere with the spray foam insulation, and won't be sort of on that feature wall that I want to look really nice and have a shelf and, you know, display my cast iron and stuff. So having it on the wall beside was a really good idea. And then it has to vent out. Now it was going to vent to an exterior wall. Now I'm putting the stove on an interior wall. That's why I have to have the stovepipe coming up from the top of the stove, which doesn't make me happy, but anyway, can't do anything about that. So we're putting the cold air vents, both of them, on the sidewall, and they are going to vent out the interior wall of the tiny house, which is going to vent in between the 2 sea cans. So that's the way that's going to work out. And so I think that's going to work out really well. That was a good idea of his to put it, the vents on the sidewall, and then not have to worry about cutting tiles around them or having them. To me, it'd be like getting poked in the eye every time I look at it when you come in. So, especially like on a feature wall. So that's good now. But I am going to have to email these guys, or maybe I'll pop up to Bob and Rita's and see if I can get the manual out of the stove first. This one's just stepped out of the favorite nesting box, this end, so I don't know if she's laid an egg or not. I just think it's hilarious now. They punched the screen out, so they just use that as a door instead of going down and exiting that way. So I'm gonna check the boxes again. One just left the favorite nesting box, so I'm just gonna check the boxes again and see what we have here, see if anything has changed as far as, and of course there's a wasp buzzing around me. I guess that's what the ponytail is for. Oh yeah, because there's 3 in there now. I think there was 1 or 2 this morning. I'd have to look back at the video. So 3 there, 3 there. I don't think there was 3 there either. 1 there, and there was 5 here, and I took 3 out to put in the other. Look at the size of that one. Holy moly. That one's a poopy one. So that is what, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 3 in there. So that's 11. I think we're at 13. Yeah, I think that's 13. Oh my goodness. Oh, Rusty's coming in to check on things in here, I guess, in the maternity ward. What do you think, Rusty? Hey? I don't really want to go in there to collect the eggs when he's in there. It's too tight of quarters. So I'll get these ones.
Is there some in the bottom?
Only the ones I put down there to try and encourage them. So I got these little pails when I went picking Hascat berries, so I'm going to use this instead because, oh my goodness, feel how warm that is. She did just lay this and stepped out of there when I walked in because that is as warm, it feels like a boiled egg. That's funny. That one's cold. Oh yeah, so she definitely just finished laying that. It doesn't get any fresher than that. Stepping out of the box while I'm coming to collect them. So that's that. This one here, this end one had 5 in it today. This one had 3. So still the 2 favorite boxes. I'm gonna get, do you want to call Rusty, Chris, so she, I want to go in there and get those eggs.
Rusty, come here.
I don't think he can hear you because of the fan. He's in at the feeder in here. Oh, okay. Gonna lure them into the run with some lettuce. And again, oh, Chris did it. He put, the hinges were binding from the straw. So he put a little piece of wood in here, scrap wood. Because you know, we don't throw even the smallest pieces away. And again, I'm moving the straw so that it's covering the area again. Because they seem to like to do the little ruffling thing. So that, now I don't know if she's gonna come in here and lay an egg for me. What do you think, girlie? Is it time to lay an egg? You think so? You would be number 14 today. Oh, she hears Chris with the lettuce now. So I'll just close this up. They're all rushing outside now to get lettuce. So I will go get these eggs that are inside. I don't really like going in here and getting chicken poop all over my sandals, but that's okay. And like I said, these ones are the ones from the box that had 5 that I could barely reach, so I literally just tossed that one in there. Like I said, baseball was my first love. Toss an egg from across the chicken coop into the nesting box. So now I'll go get the outside ones and see where we're at for number. I'm still keeping the previous days in a separate bowl so that I can keep track, because you guys have seen already, I can't keep track of nothing. I guess I could have come over by the tire. Yeah, now see, that's definitely a new chicken because it's a little one. And this too. Two little teeny ones. Not the tiniest, but still pretty tiny. Oh, stepping over these logs that we put in here to roost. It's hard on an old woman too. Okay, I'll open the gate back up now that it's not. They seem to like to have the gate and the door open. And the window. Do you see they just use the window as a door now? Yeah. Rather than coming down from there, they just jump out the window. Okay, let's go have a look at this. So exciting. I know you guys are just probably rolling your eyes. I'll get all kinds of rolly eyes emojis at my silly egg jokes and my chicken jokes, telling them not to be chicken when they are chickens. So I was just getting ready to do the dishes here, but let's see what we got here. I can't believe the size of that one. Holy moly. That, I thought that one the other day was huge. And again, I'm not washing these until I use them. So we've got a lot of little guys still. That's really little. I don't know if that would even qualify as a medium. And of course, like I said, I've never bought smaller medium eggs. I don't know why they even sell them, to tell you the truth. That one's poopy. So I'll have to clean this counter and everything off again. So yeah, a lot of them are still small. Again, we might have some first time layers. These two little guys are pretty tiny. But look at this ginormous thing. I remember what that feels like. Ay, ay, ay. But these are all pretty consistent in size, except for the littlest ones. And again, I just use 2 per egg, like whatever. If it calls for 1 egg, I use 2. This one's a decent size too, but that one is humongous. I think I'm going to get the tape measure and measure that teeniest one out there, and then this one, because that's crazy. So I'm going to do that now. So I brought in this tiniest one. This is the tiniest one so far. So you can see, I guess if I put it up there, what is that, 1.5 inches, 1 5/8, 3/4 long, and put it beside this one. Oh my goodness. Like it looks like a robin's egg or something. So that one's like 1 3/4 inches. This one is, I don't know, 3 inches almost. 2 3/4 inches. But the difference in size is just hilarious. I didn't think we'd be getting any this big so soon. And I didn't think there would be any that tiny. It's just so little. I can't wait to see the yolk in that one. I haven't cracked it yet because I just think it's so cute. I know, I'm crazy. I told you before, I get called crazy so often. I consider it a compliment now. It's just been decades of you're crazy, so yes, maybe I am. But like I said before, it doesn't take too much to get me excited, and I mean excited now. Gonna get the dishes done, see what else I can get into today. So Chris and I were talking, and I've suggested that what we do is keep the chickens in the run until noon, because they seem to lay most of the eggs in the morning, and then let them out to free range at noon. now he didn't change those boxes out yet because there was somebody in there in the maternity ward doing her clucky thing. But I think that might work, might be a good compromise, and then they're happier. But the other thing I was wondering about, and I haven't researched online, maybe some of you will know, it doesn't seem like a good idea to me to have the eggs sitting out here in the heat all day. I don't know if that matters or not. I mean, that's kind of nature's way, I guess, but my impulse is to want to gather them all up and get them in the fridge as soon as possible. So if anybody has any information on that, again, help us newbies out. But that's one thing I'm having a hard time with, is leaving the eggs outside all day, especially when it's warm like this. I want to get them in and put them in the fridge. I'm going to do that now. It's like 2:30. I am also not getting relish done today because I did not read through the recipe, and you'll see me do that over and over and over and over. I skim through stuff. I don't really read through it, and I was supposed to cut everything up and put the pickling salt on it and leave it overnight. I'm going to wash the jars and get everything ready there and do as much as I can. I've put everything away, and the relish won't get made today. So I guess I'm just going to be doing organizing and editing today. But hopefully later Chris can get those nesting boxes changed and see how that works. And like I say, we're thinking we'll leave them locked in the run till noon and then let them free range after that. So I'm just getting all of my stuff assembled here. I'm going to do the dishes so I can wash my jars. I went and picked out 5 little teeny eggs to make for my breakfast. I've got my canning pot. We've spent like at least an hour looking for the rings and lids that I knew I had bought, and we simply couldn't remember where we put them. And I had gone out and got the jars out of grocery bin, one of those recyclable ones. Found my giant stainless steel spoon that I was wondering where it was. So I found that, got the jars, but I needed rings and lids. So we were on the hunt for these, and we've been hunting for probably closer to 2 hours between the two of us. We couldn't remember where we had seen them last. Found them in the tool trailer, of all places, on the shelf at the bottom behind everything. So at least I have my rings now, because I couldn't even scrounge up enough rings to do this batch. So I'm gonna get something to eat and then wash the dishes and get the jars sterilizing and get going on this, cook this relish. Well, I checked one last time for eggs and no more eggs, so they do seem to be laying them all in the morning. Like I said before, if anybody has any tips, like I don't think they should be left in the nest boxes all day long in the heat, but I don't know. So anyway, like I say, best day for eggs so far. Excellent news and a very exciting day. So like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with your family and friends, and we'll see you next time.